Hello, 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 hello. One, two, three. Hello, 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 hello.
So we have the example in the yesterday session. Like the reason behind giving the example is all about in all the problems. If you have even seen self-practice problems, there will be only one time computation of weighted average price method. But in examination, there may be situations where you might need to compute more than one time. Anyways, in this context, I have told you the final answers if you have listened. Okay, but I have a reason. I mean, like I have a question to you. Weighted average price. I mean, like at the time of computing closing balance, I even considered the sale of these 3,000 debentures. I did not consider, and I told whether you consider or not, you'll get the same answer. I hope you are aware of that. And to find that, originally totally 1,50,000 is the cost price. For how many number of debentures? 12,500. Next purchased another 2,000 debentures at a price of 12. Ante kada? Yeah, 2,000 into 12. Now this is the point where we have sold the debentures. Okay. So very, very important, my dear children. Minus 3,000 debentures were sold. And since this is all cost price, selling price. Cost price. Numerator lo unnadi cost e kada. So you need to deduct cost price of the debentures sold. Not the selling price. What is the cost price of the debentures sold? 3,000 into 12. Already you have computed weighted average cost where you have got a cost of 36,000 kada. Gurtunda? 36,000 you have got. So frankly speaking, you need to deduct 36,000. కొంతమంది ఉంటారు who will be deducting selling price. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలంటే 40,500 is the selling price minus 4,500 is the profit. ఏ రాయి అయితే ఏంటి పల్లుడు కొట్టుకోవడానికి at the end of the day you are supposed to deduct cost price of sale. అది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. And finally you have purchased malla 2,500 debentures at a price of 2,500 into something 11.5. Easy. Even if you have done this or even if you have done this, you should get the same answer. Check out, you should get 11.926. ఖచ్చితంగా వస్తుంది. సో మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఏంటంటే యూనిట్ మీరు సేల్ ప్రైస్ డిడక్ట్ చేసినా చేయకపోయినా యుల్ గెట్ సేమ్ ఆన్సర్. సో నో పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ డిడక్టింగ్ సెల్లింగ్ ప్రైస్ విచ్ ఈజ్ లైక్ వేస్ట్ ఆఫ్ టైం. అంటే వేస్ట్ ఆఫ్ టైం అంటే ఎగ్జామ్లో వేస్ట్ ఆఫ్ టైం. ఖచ్చితంగా ఉన్న టైమే చాలా తక్కువ. ఇంకో గంట పోయిన తర్వాత రాలేకపోయావా? సిగ్గుండాలి. 8 o'clock క్లాస్ పెట్టుకుని 8కి వచ్చినావు. హే తగలాడు. Done? That's it. So in examination, whether to deduct this or not is obviously your choice. నేనైతే అవసరం లేదంటాను. ఏం చేసినా you'll get the same answer and ultimately that's of your choice. Okay, that's it. And moving on to the next part, that is all about variable income bearing securities. What do you mean by variable income bearing securities? Equity shares. Now who will give equity shares to whom? Company obviously give equity shares to the investor, and investor can also purchase the same from the secondary market. And now investor will get return from the company. Investor will get return from the company. What return do the investor gets from the company? Dividend. It can be even bonus. It also can be even rights. Okay. It can be dividend, it can be bonus, it can be rights, it can be anything. Of course, return ante generally dividend only. This is something like extra points ante. First, let me discuss about bonus because it is small and you will feel comfortable in telling that. Who will give bonus to whom? Company will give bonus to the existing shareholder, particularly equity shareholder. But do you know one thing, that Companies Act 2013 told company can give bonus to existing shareholder? అదే కదా చెప్పింది, అదే కదా, నేను అది చెప్పలేదు. నేను ఈక్విటీ అన్నా, ఉంటే ఇవ్వచ్చా? If at all it is existing, then logically speaking you can, but equity shareholder will not let that happen, because for the issue of bonus you have to use reserves. For the issue of bonus you have to use reserves kada. Reserves and surplus account that ought to bonus to equity shareholders account, bonus to equity shareholders account that ought to equity share capital account. So for the issue of bonus you have to use reserves. Reserves are the sole property of equity shareholders. So why do equity shareholders let the profits to be distributed for preference shareholder other than dividend? That too in the form of giving bonus. They don't let that happen. And logically, even though Act is telling, practically, point number one, there are no preferences. Even there are preferences, the same will not let the thing happen. Reason is so simple. Why? Reserves are the profits which are the sole property of equity shareholders, and they don't belong actually to preference shareholders, and equity shareholder let that not be given to preference shareholders. Is it clear? That's it. And now, so as per act you can give to preference shareholder, but logically equity shareholder will not let that happen. So keeping that aside, now company will be giving bonus to the investor as per our concept. Who will be giving to whom? Company will be giving to investor as per our concept, and bonus will be given at what price? No price. And a bonus will be given at free of cost. Am I correct or wrong? Okay. What is the entry do investor need to write in his books of accounts? No entry. Entry will be there. What's that? Yes, there are shares for sure. To equity share capital? No. Whenever you are writing equity share capital, it implies that you are a company kada. You have to tell from investor point of view. Investment in equity. Okay. Credit what then? Raju? Telling something? To company? విష్ణు నువ్వేనా చెప్పింది? Oh, if you are crediting company, the meaning is all about you have to pay to company అని అర్థం. Company is giving bonus to you and you have to pay to company. No. సరే, క్రెడిట్ ఐటమ్ ఏదో తెలీదు, వదిలేసేయండి. వీ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ సంథింగ్ అనుకుందాం. రికగ్నిషన్ ఈజ్ అబ్సల్యూట్లీ ఓకే. మెజర్మెంట్? Measurement will be written with number from when? మెజర్మెంట్లో నంబర్ ఎప్పటి నుంచి రాస్తున్నారు అంటున్నా. మెజర్మెంట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ అమౌంట్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ అన్ ఎంట్రీ కదా. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? Number of bonus shares received multiplied by what is that value? We are purchasing at a price of 0. No entry. But take care. With bonus, number of shares are getting increased. Am I correct or wrong? So it will be recorded in number column. In investment account, you are having one column called number kada. Only in number column you will be recording by writing to bonus issue. Hey, take care, not to bonus issue account. You should not write to bonus issue account ani raayakuddu. To cash or bank account. Okay. to interest account, okay, to P&L account, okay, by P&L account, by cash or bank account, because for everything there is account, but there's no account called bonus issue account, and hence you can't write something like to bonus issue account. It is something like simply to bonus issue, and how much ever number that you're going to receive, you just put it in that number column. Is it clear? That's it. And since it is equity shares, there will be no interest. Instead of interest, you will be having something called dividend. And amount column is quite common. Date column is quite common. Particulars is also quite common. Only one change, instead of interest, you will be getting dividend. Is it clear? That's the end of bonus part. Okay. Start writing the notes. Variable income bearing securities. At free of cost, since no cost, no recognition, no measurement. But since number of equity shares are increased, but since number of equity shares are increased, tell me what to do. Yes, record in number column. Ante. With bonus, weighted average price decreases, right? Ante kada. With bonus, weighted average price decreases. Take care. Ah, cost will be the same, number of shares will increase, and hence automatically weighted average price decreases. Okay. Any doubts in the previous questions for you? Did you solve everything? Comfortable in solving assignment problems? Everybody? నిన్నేదో ఒక డౌట్ అడిగారు. Okay, in one of the assignment problems, no face value will be given. Instead of that, I already told you debentures face value is 100, so that it's comfortable to you to solve. CRT number 7. Please start reading. I guess you can't. Raju, ప్రేమ వెలుగు. So if you observe again same, there's no opening balance in this question. Whereas if you observe CRD number 8, if you observe the first statement on 1/4/2021, Sundar had, which is like past, already he is having. So which implies that this is opening balance. Sundar had. Sundar purchased. Be careful. Had, that word itself is implying that it is an opening balance. And now coming back here. Yeah. So 5,000 equity shares purchased at a price of rupees 100 each. Oh, sorry. Of rupees 100 each. And this 100 is implying face value. Hey, generally, if nothing is mentioned, what is the face value of equity share? I told you 10. But here, since he is clearly mentioning, you need to consider the same, which is at 100. At a price of rupees 120 each from a broker who charged 2% brokerage. I hope even you're comfortable with that. And also incurred some stamp duty, which is 50 paisa per 100 as cost of shares transfer. Is it clear? Stamp duty incurred 50 paisa per 100. And if I was not wrong, I can tell 0.5%. 50 paisa per 100 is 0.5%. Next. That's too simple. You're having how many shares? Bonus declared is 1:2. And for every 2 shares, 1 is the bonus. So 1:2, you have to read from last. 1 bonus for every 2 shares. So on a whole 5,000 into 1/2, you're going to get 2,500. Okay. Now 2,500 has to be recorded or posted. Only posting. There's no recognition, no measurement. It will be posted in number column. Be careful. Bonus shares will be posted only in number column. Don't forget. Next. Obviously, you might have learnt in your foundation, with bonus share price will decrease because no flow of consideration into market, but number of shares will increase. Andukane before bonus each share is trading somewhere at 175. You purchased at 120. Fortunately, it is increased up to 175. But after bonus, automatically it decreases, and hence it is decreased up to 90. Next. శేఖరన్ సుందరన్ కింద ఎలా మారిపోతాడు? సో సేల్, at the time of sale 2% brokerage is there and sold all the bonus shares anta. But if you observe, selling price is not given. Why? Directly it was not given, but indirectly it was given. You're selling bonus shares ante you're selling after bonus or before bonus? After bonus, what is the price? 90, and hence you need to consider 90. Is the logic clear? Bonus shares were sold at 2% brokerage. Ivled kadani, you can't assume it at face value 100. It's wrong. You need to consider it along with the terminology. You're selling bonus shares ante obviously after bonus. After bonus, the share price is 90. So you need to consider that you will be selling it at 90. Next. Time లేదు ఇంకా ఉంది. That's okay. Current assets. So current assets have to be valued at cost or fair value, whichever is lower. ఎంత ముచ్చటగా ఇచ్చాడంటే even he had given the rule also. Cost or market value, whichever is lower. But what is the market value at the end of the year? Yes, you need to consider even that as 90. Is it clear? Since no market value given, consider it at 90 only antunna, because after bonus. And one more thing, if you observe, closing date 1/4/2021 opening, 31/3/2022 closing. On closing date, you're selling the shares, that is after bonus, so you have to assume it at 90, and hence market value is also assumed to be 90 at the end of the year. Is the point clear? Frankly speaking, for purchase you need to do working note. Bonus ka avsaram ledu, 5,000 into 1 by 2 ఏ కదా. But sale again you need to do the working note. Okay. Sir, no concept of this thing. I mean, if you have remembered for debentures, we have done something like EIP plus interest is equals to CIP. But this concept is not needed under equity shares at all. Interest is not there, but you might have dividend. So you can tell X dividend price plus dividend is equals to cum dividend price. This is 200% correct. But you are not going to solve in this notation. The reason is so simple. Dividend is not fixed at par with interest. Interest anuko fixed. Whether or not you are having profits, you have to. But dividend not like that. And one more thing. Dividend will never be given in a proportionate basis. For 3 months, 6 months, 2 months, ala istaru. Dividend will be given generally for the entire period. Asala proportionately they won't give. Dividend is always computed on paid up value of the share. Ante. Is my point clear, everybody? So is X dividend price plus dividend is equal to cum dividend price? That concept correct or wrong? Concept is 100% correct. But you can't apply that while solving the problems. Reason, two things. Number one, dividend is not fixed. Variable income bearing securities, dividend varies. And another thing, it is not given in a proportionate basis. Interest అయితే 3 months, 6 months అట్లా ఏమేమో చెప్తావు. But for dividend you won't tell like that, and hence no need to consider. Respond, is it clear? That's it, my dear children. So start with working note number 1. What's working note number 1? Purchase transaction as on 1/4/2021. Cost price of how many? 5,000 equity shares is equal to answer చెప్పండి. Six lakh. Okay. Okay. 1,000. Okay. So what are the cost of equity shares that we have purchased? 5,000 into rupees 120 plus 2% which is called as brokerage plus 0.5% you can simply apply, which is nothing but stamp duty. ఎంత వచ్చిందమ్మా? If you compute like this, you'll get 6,15,060. Yes. If you're computing like this, you will be getting 6,15,060 only. But what is wrong in that ante? Sir, brokerage is to be computed on cost price. Stamp duty is also to be computed on what is this called? Cost price. But whenever you're doing plus 2% to plus 0.5%, this 0.5% is applied on entire amount. And even on brokerage also 0.5% is applied. Why? On direct expense, you will pay one more direct expense. Nonsense. I hope it's clear. And hence, take care. It's like plus 2% is brokerage plus 0.5% of 6,12,000. Ante you will be getting it at 6,15,060. But this 6,12,000 is wrong. That is 6 lakh, which is 5,000 equity shares into 120, which is exactly 6 lakhs. Ante to tell you, you need to compute even brokerage also only on the cost price, that is 6 lakh. you need to compute stamp duty also only on the cost price, that is 6 lakh. If you have done like that, you're going to get the exact answer, which comes to an amount of rupees 6 lakhs 15,000. Is my point clear? కావాలంటే మీరు చెక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. దిస్ 12,000 into 0.5%. 12,000 into 0.5%. 60. That is what wrong thing that you have got. Is it clear? Sorry, sale is done, which is working note number 1. ఇక బోనస్ అవసరం లేదు. As I have already told you, you can comfortably solve it in your account. Working note number 2, transaction as on మళ్ళీ ఎప్పుడు జరిగింది? 2022. This is all about sale, right? Okay. So selling price of no bonus shares. How many? 2,500 of the bonus shares. He is telling that all the bonus shares were sold. So selling price of 2,500 shares is equal to 2,500 into rupees 90. Take care, huh? Minus 1%, which is brokerage. Okay. So where you are going to get an amount of 220,500. Okay. Now B, profit or loss on sale is equal to selling price minus cost price. Of course, selling price is readily available, right? Now you need to find what is the cost price of 2,500 shares. And tell me what is the profit or loss. So cost price of 2,500 debentures, let me check out, is equal to selling price. I mean, like, you need to find that. And these 2,500 shares or dash shares, bonus shares. So cost price of 2,500 shares is equal to 0. Ante kada. Therefore, profit or loss is equal to 2,500 minus cost price 0. So 2,500 is profit. అంతే కదా, బోనస్ చేసుకో జీరోనే కదా. Yes or no? But this is wrong. This is wrong. Then what is correct ante? You just need to compute cost price. Since no method is given, you have to follow under weighted average method. That is equal to okay, for 5,000 bonus 2,500 where the cost is 0 and multiplied by 2,500 shares. What is this one? Into 2,500, which comes to 2 lakh. Okay, is what? Cost price. Therefore, profit or loss is equal to selling price 220,500 minus cost price 205,000, which comes to 15,500 profit, which is correct answer. Is it clear? But tell me why? Like why this is correct, why that is wrong? అదే అసలు ఎందుకు అలా చేయాలంటున్నా. ఓకే, బట్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ బోనస్ షేర్స్ ఈజ్ 0 కదా. తీసుకోలేదు కదా నేను, వెయిటెడ్ యావరేజ్కి తీసుకున్నా. నేనేమంటున్నానంటే cost price of 2,500 debentures, I mean like cost price of 2,500 debentures or bonus kada. Bonus are absolutely 0 kada cost price. మనకు outright తెలుసు కదా. Then why to follow this అంటున్నా? Then profit could be 220,500 కదా. క్వశ్చన్ అర్థమైందా? అసలు నేను అంటుంది స్పెసిఫికలీ నాకు తెలిసినప్పుడు అసలు బాధ అంతా ఎందుకు అంటున్నా. వై కాంట్ యూ అజ్యూమ్ సింప్లీ లైక్ బోనస్ వర్ సోల్డ్ అండ్ సిన్స్ కాస్ట్ ప్రైస్ ఆఫ్ బోనస్ ఇస్ 0, యూ ప్రాఫిట్ ఇస్ 220,500. ఫ్రీగా ఇవ్వ, అందుకే కదా 220,500 తీసుకుంటున్నావు నువ్వు కన్సిడరేషన్. అయిపోని ఏముంది, weighted average deviate అయిపోని. Since bonus were sold, cost of bonus is 0, profit is 220,500. అది తప్పనేసాను నేను. ఐ డిడ్ నాట్ టెల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అనదర్ ఆన్సర్, లేకపోతే ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ ఆన్సర్ అని నేను చెప్పట్లేదు, అది అవుట్ రైట్ రాంగ్ అంటున్నా. బట్ వై దట్ ఈస్ రాంగ్ ఈజ్ మై క్వశ్చన్. ఫైన్, దెర్ ఈస్ 1 rupee in your bank account and I have credited 1 more rupee in your bank account. What is your total bank balance now? Identify 1 rupee that you are holding and identify 1 rupee that I have credited to you. Possible? Impossible. ఇది కూడా అంతే. So once if I'm holding 5,000 shares at 6,15,000 something. Okay. After that what happens ante 2,500 shares added to that. And now 7,500 shares are costing 6,15,000 అని అర్థం. Even if you are selling bonus share, any other share, exactly nobody knows. ఇప్పుడు నా డిమాట్ అకౌంట్లో 5,000 ఒరిజినల్ షేర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఇప్పుడు 2,500 ఏమో అడిషనల్ షేర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. దిస్ 2,500 వర్ యాడెడ్ టు దట్ 5,000 అండ్ టోటల్ ఇట్ హ్యాడ్ బికమ్ 7,500. ఐడెంటిఫై బోనస్ షేర్ సెపరేట్లీ అంటే పాసిబుల్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్? సిన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్, you can't tell that cost of these 2,500 debentures is 0. అర్థమైందా? I mean 2,500 equity shares is 0 చెప్పలేవు. And hence you obviously need to follow weighted average method, and this is sensible and this is correct. Is it clear? And that's the end of working note number 2. And after the completion of this, you have to start working note number 3, which is closing balance. Is it okay? Just complete working note number 2 and start with working note number 3 closing balance faster.